Welcome everyone. This is episode 12 of the Transmaxxing podcast, and today's topic is facial feminization surgery. When it comes to FFS, there are two common approaches. One approach is to just make some subtle changes to the face, which is common with facial team, for example. And as you see at that photo in the medical channel, you don't really see much difference before and after, and it's debatable if they really look better after FFS. And I very much have to question the value prospect of paying a lot of money for basically no difference. But there are also some doctors who are willing to perform more radical FFS, as we see in the photo below. And there we actually see a very big difference before and after. And I think this actually made a difference between not passing to passing. And there are a lot of trans people where without radical FFS they will never be able to pass as a female. So why not turn this over to Junglebunny and ask her about her experience with facial feminization surgery.
Okay, so I recently, like a couple weeks ago, had FFS. My experience it's been a good one so far. Like, I definitely recommend it if you feel like you need it to pass or to feel more confident in yourself, honestly. It's a very hard procedure to go through, like, it's a lot of, pain, but, like, it's honestly worth it in the long term, as far as, like, your results go, you know? The biggest, like, challenge you're probably gonna have, like, if you have FFS is, like, swelling and, like, just like taking your time to recover, because like once you rush to get the surgery done, you might not feel like it's like the ideal results you wanted, because like you're still super swollen. Like even now, like after a couple weeks have passed, I still feel like I need to give it some more time, because like once you have like so much trauma done to your face at once, your face is supposed to look like a balloon basically. So it could be like 6 months, 8 months, even a year to like all the swelling fully goes down and like shows your final result. So that's my main experience. Also, depending on what kind of like surgeries you get combined, because FFS is not like one procedure, it's like a combination of procedures meant to feminize your appearance. So, depending on like which procedures you get done, like whether it be like jaw work or chin work, like it's gonna definitely require you change your diet. So, I heavily recommend like planning that beforehand. Like a lot of people, like surgeons, like require you to be in a liquids only diet, which basically means like broth or like a soup with like only broth in it. So you can't even drink like soup or like jello or anything. Like that's considered like a soft diet, not a liquid diet. So like you are drinking like Soylent or like Huel or something like that, or like an energy drink. Well, not energy drink, that's caffeine.
Can you drink milk?
Honestly, I'm pretty sure you can. But, like, that's not going to be that filling. Like, you're still going to be hungry after drinking milk, you know?
Yeah, so milk can provide enough macros. People use milk as bodybuilders to replace their entire diet. I don't think it's such a great idea, but with supplementation of things like B vitamins and adding back minerals that aren't found in milk, like magnesium and iron, you could definitely get away with it.
So, like, mostly I recommend people to usually drink, like, Soylent or, like, protein shakes usually. So, like at least have some calories so you don't, like, feel sick or, like, ill. Because once you're, like, really hungry, it's going to be really hard for, like, your body to, like, heal if, like, you don't have anything to fuel the recovery, you know? And that's usually for the first, like, 2 weeks. You have to be in, like, a liquid diet. And then after that, you start a soft food diet for another 3 weeks, basically. Which is, like, when you can actually eat food. Which probably won't, like, be your ideal favorite foods or anything, but once you've been like drinking broth and like soups and like energy drinks and like Soylent for like a week or two, like a soup is gonna be like gourmet to you, so it's not gonna be too bad or anything. So for the soft food, I recommend like soup with like stuff in it, like noodles or something. Nothing too hard because like it's gonna be very hard, difficult for you to chew if you have any jaw work done. Maybe Jello, like pudding, applesauce, and I was able to eat like fruit cups, but definitely check with your surgeon because some surgeons think it might get stuck in your stitches in your mouth if you have stitches in your mouth. If you have knee jaw work. And like typically, as far as scarring goes and like incisions go, for the most part, your doctor's probably gonna do most of them internally for like it won't scar as much. Like think like inside your mouth, like inside your nose. Cause like obviously like having like external scars like keloid you might have like maybe super visible and like really unattractive. So generally they try to like, make the scars as far for the most part like inside your mouth or hidden as much as they possibly can. The thing that scars the most is lip lifts because like there's really no way you could honestly hide that because it's just in the center of your face for the most part. Like it's right underneath your nose. Like it's like a bullseye. So if you're worried about scarring or you keloid, I would not recommend a lip lift, even if you feel like it's necessary for your feminization. But there's like a lot of different procedures. Just like know which you want. Ideally, it's probably better to have somewhat of idea what you want before you see a surgeon, because most FFS surgeons really go by what you find just makes you like uncomfortable with yourself. Like they're not gonna say, "Oh, this is bad about you. This is bad about you. You need to fix this, fix that." Because like trans culture or like trans like politics or whatever is kind of like controversial. Like it's like a hot button issue. So them saying like, "Oh, this makes you look like a masculine, make look like a man," they're going to struggle to say that. They're going to like go off what you feel like you want to change. If that makes any sense. But they'll also have their own like additions to that too. So like know what you want before you go see a consultation, or otherwise you're probably just wasting your time for the most part, honestly.
Do you think it's important to like lose like face fat before like getting FFS or?
I mean, not necessarily, because a lot of the fat can be moved around. Like they can either use it to your cheeks, or they could put it in your lips, or they can, if you like have like no chin or anything, and you want a more V-shaped chin or V-shaped jaw, they can move that fat to your chin too. So, I mean, it's not really necessary, and I feel like more plumper faces are probably easier to sculpt and like with fat grafting versus like bone work, which probably is like it's likely less painful because like bone work you have to like the recovery time is a lot longer than for like jaw work or like bone work. So if you're more fatter and like you don't have that many like masculine like features like related to your bones, like if you're usually fat, it's kind of hard to see like how your face looks, like your bone structure looks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that getting to around 20-25% body fat would likely be ideal, as at that point bone structure will have very clear effects on face shape, yet there'll still be plenty of soft tissues to remodel, much higher than 30-35%, and it may be extremely hard to predict how you'd look at lower body fat or how bone structure changes might end up affecting you.
When you had FFS, what type of procedure did you opt for?
I've had a genoplasty, which is basically like a jawline, or not chin surgery. I had a osteoplasty, which is like bone like changing basically. It's like they break a bone and like reshape it. I had that on my jawline. So the genoplasty was my chin and the osteoplasty was my jawline. I had a forehead reconstruction. Like basically they broke my forehead, like the bone basically reshaped it to like a more rounder shape versus like a flatter shape. Because I had like a really like flat like face, like my nose and my forehead like were fully flat. Like I didn't have like a feminine shape, it was more androgynous before. So when they broke down my forehead and like reshaped it, it's more rounded, like it's more feminine. And then they broke my nose too, which basically is rhinoplasty. And they reshaped that to make it like more swooped like a slope nose.
So,
I also had fat grafting to my cheeks and my chin. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, this sounds like a pretty radical surgery, and I see a lot on this server and other server that some people are worried about their bone structure and think that because of their masculine facial won't ever be able to pass. But as you have told, you can actually change that via facial surgery if you just find the right doctor for it.
And like different doctors have different looks. Like there's Harrison Lee, Marderosian, there's a lot of doctors in Beverly Hills that have like a certain look that if you want to like really like an Instagram model, they do that look. And then there's like other doctors like Kyojampa. Like he gives like a really like dramatic look, but still really natural. He does a really good job with that. There's like a lot of surgeons that specialize in. So like, as far as looking for a surgeon, definitely look up what their results before you even think about going to them, because they might be either too extreme for you or not like your ideal aesthetic.
Yeah, this is obviously very important. Always look up photos before, so you don't like pay a lot of money then become unhappy either because they didn't change you enough or because they changed you to something you don't want. So do your research before, and this I shouldn't even have to say this, but there are people wasting their money, unfortunately.
Yeah, they learn the hard way. Like, they get results like, oh my god, nothing changed, or like, I look like someone else, I look like a different person, and like, they don't feel like it's them. And that's like really frustrating and sad for them, definitely. Also, tracheal shaves. Tracheal shaves are super common for FFS, but please do not go to any surgeon who's FFS for it, because if they damage that, like, if they do it a certain way that's not like the right way, you literally will make your voice deeper and like a lot more masculine. So definitely be careful. Don't just go to like a surgeon who's like really good at FFS and like they offer, oh yeah, I do tracheal shaves as well. Do you want one? Please be careful. It's so dangerous.
This is a good opportunity to note less is often more. Making a few intentional major changes like Junglebunny did is very much ideal. Where she got 3 major changes done, you might be tempted to try to make lots and lots of smaller changes to retain like some semblance of yourself, but this will simply result in you having that similar look even if it's more feminine. It's also important to keep in mind that some masculine features can be okay and are often seen in female models and such. I, for example, am likely only getting chin work and a nose job since I don't have a very prominent brow ridge, and partially due to this, my forehead is rounded, not flat, angled, and masculine. My jaw is angular but not overly large. The only real issue is the relatively wide chin.
That's good advice. I think in general you have to be very careful when dealing with like surgeons, doctors and everything. Because you don't really have much recourse in the case something goes wrong. Like sure you can try to sue them, but then you have to like you wait for courts and pay like loads of money in legal fees. And then you might lose and have to pay their legal fees as well, worst case.
And a lot of them, like even as far as legal fees go, like a lot of these like surgeons, they make you sign papers just in case you have any like results you don't like, that you either have to pay for a revision by them, or you can't sue them because you basically consent to whatever results you get. Like you consent, like, oh, I accept the risks, I accept what I will receive as far as the surgery goes, and like that's okay. So definitely be careful with papers you sign when you have surgery, because most of, not all surgeons, especially cosmetic surgeons who do facial feminization surgery or any surgery that's for trans anything, they have a lot of like paperwork saying that you get what you get and you don't get upset, or you get upset and you just pay more.
Yeah, of course. And I can kind of understand it as well. I don't want to get like hanged up in court and like have to waste time with that. So I can understand it, but it really sucks for patients who get screwed over and unhappy with the results because they don't really have recourse.
Yeah, it really sucks, but they definitely have to protect themselves, because there's some people that have like either BDD and like no matter what results you give them, they'll be upset with it and they'll try to sue you. So I think that's the main reason why they have that, because there's this one girl I've seen in a group on Facebook and her results are perfect. Like I've even seen her in person before and she looks fine, and she's just hopping from surgeon to surgeon and being told no because like she wants her jaw reduced to the point where like it's not even a jaw anymore. So some people are just like impossible to please. So I understand the surgeon like protecting themselves for the most part.
Yeah, it's always sad when people have this like body dysmorphia where like C-flaws that aren't there, and often they pass just fine. And another thing you have to consider is that the goal isn't necessarily just to pass as a female. You want to pass as something you actually like, something that just, like, looks good, especially to you.
Definitely.
I think there's like a fine line when it comes to some of these things where it's like you should try to address the things that make you look masculine, but a lot of times you gotta also like learn to love yourself because you can't change everything in your face sometimes. So you have to make do with like the most important features gone and make sure that it's what you want.
Also, some things you change that might make you look more masculine. Like, some people try to, like, get a V-shaped jaw when they have, like, rounder faces, and it honestly masculines their face versus, like, feminizing it. So, definitely listen to your doctor's, like, recommendations. So, if they feel like, oh, you don't need this, or, like, you probably shouldn't get this, probably it's better off to listen to them. Like, for me, my doctor was really against a lip lift. Like, he said, oh, if you get this procedure, it's going to look really, really strange. Because, like, my facial features, it would just look, like, really, really fake, obviously, like, cosmetic. Like, I got, like, a work done, obviously, and that wasn't really the look I was going for, like, when I saw him. So, yeah, definitely listen to your doctor.
Do you think or already know that you're going to have a nice improvement from FFS?
Honestly, it was kind of like I had some features that I wanted to soften, and I kind of felt like it was kind of impossible to fuck it up. So I kind of like automatically assumed he'll do a good job, and I'm pleasantly like surprised like he did a good job. So yeah, before I even had the surgery done, I already knew I would look better.
I think that this is the end. And I hope that if you're currently struggling with passing, that you don't give up on yourself, and one day you might be able to become a cute girl. Have a nice day, everyone.